Like, they just have to concede towers until Fiddlesticks just gets back up again. And so it's just it's so hilariously one-sided in my mind. Just the push advantage they'll have in the 1-3-1.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if Banan is basically saying, hey, you know what? I don't think we can win playing the traditional meta game up against Truth, so we're going to go the Super Cheese, Udyr top lane, Fiddlesticks mid, Brand and Braum is probably actually the most standard thing on their team is the Brand and Braum bot lane, and even that is relatively cheesy. It requires them to just sort of walk into the enemy and get that stun. So I think definitely a very cheese strat. They're looking for
and
early
even
pressure.
looking at this, the cheese has already started, and it's too late for Nimbus going down immediately to the 5-man invade.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we were talking about. That's what they need to do, and they're not even done yet. Usually you pick, you recall, they're looking for more. They want Camille to walk back, and they get a second kill. So very confident play from this team, but you also have to say relatively disrespectful. Their bot lane hasn't recalled, which means they're going to get to lane late.
Yep, the minions have already spawned. They're at least going to lose 1 melee, and they're still not recalling. The bot lane is going to lose so much.
Wait, maybe they're not going bot.
Oh, maybe, but nobody's heading bot. Whoever's heading bot is going to be extremely far behind, and if it's not a traditional bot lane at bottom, then what's going to happen is Zyra Khan's just going to rip whoever it is actually there apart.
So it looks like they are going standard bottom lane, but if that's the case, then why delay it? I guess maybe they're looking for another pick.
TP.
Brand is going to TP.
That's
not how you use that.
Yeah, that's okay. So definitely some cheesy things, including leashing your jungler with TP. Not advised.
Not advised. Do not try this at home, ladies and gentlemen.
And some smart jungling from Taliyah, just going to the enemy red buff straight away. Recognizing, wait, Brand also started E, which is fairly low damage, but should be alright.
Wait, that makes no sense. Why did he start? Oh, maybe because he was trying to kill the Camille or something? I don't know.
I feel like, yeah, it's just a few strange things, but either way, Kayn getting caught out in the jungle, Taliyah's just going to run him down. He's got the flash, he already used it, just gets taken down by the auto attacks.
Yep, pretty easy.
But it's still not over. Echo going in mid lane, just getting quick trade with the electrocute proc.
Yeah, I mean, just going to be a free kill going over to Truth. And you have to think, right, this Taliyah has done what she needed to do. She's got a kill early. She's got ahead. They lost the Camille, but ultimately that's not really going to have that much of an impact. I feel like even though Kayn has got that kill, he's still going to lose the jungle matchup. So I think Taliyah's looking very good. She's coming bot. They have a very aggressive bot, no escapes, and this could be something very dangerous.
Oh, but Rakan gets interrupted during his W. Braum's still not flashing out, but doesn't need it. Oh, he will need it. However, they choose not to commit to try and burn that flash. So, all in all, just a chunk going onto Braum.
Yeah, so essentially there what happened is they didn't really have the damage. Taliyah decides to path inward instead of going around the back, but now she's going around the back, actually.
Yep, the second follow-up gank. They've still got all their summoners. There's Brands. The W comes out. Good dodge by Brand. Rakan chooses to flash, but Braum will 1-for-1 if they choose to go in, but they don't actually commit. The red buff apparently not enough for them to choose to try and commit to that one.
That was really interesting execution by Truth Gaming. I'd say Banan definitely getting the better of that. So essentially that whole play for the past 1 or 2 minutes was a 2v3. The first gank they escaped blowing literally nothing. The second gank blew all their sums, but trade 1 for 0. So a lot of time spent there by Taliyah. Now, basically both times the Rakan W didn't connect. The first time I believe it was interrupted by the Brand, and the second time he just straight up missed it. Also, we saw obviously just then the Taliyah focusing down the Brand flashes, and Braum basically solo kills the Rakan, using his flash not to run away and live, but to basically flash in, get the free kill, and leave. So definitely a very interesting 3v2 we've seen.
And mid lane, whoa, I feel like Fiddle could have probably actually gone in for a pretty heavy trade there and almost killed Echo, but Echo forced a recall anyway.
Yeah, the thing with Fiddlesticks though, I don't know if you are that familiar with the matchup, but essentially in the mid lane, whenever your E is on cooldown, you can't do anything. You have no damage with auto attacks. Your W is non-existent because of how much, how susceptible it makes you to everything else. It's almost worth just auto-attacking instead of your W at early ranks because of the lack of damage. And generally, Fiddles in the lane have to max that E to get some damage, and also the Q. So it might look like, hey, he's won that trade, keep going, but if Fiddle extends a trade, Echo will destroy him with constant passive procs, his short Q cooldown, and even a W potentially when Fiddle throws his. So Echo definitely going to be favored in the 1v1 mid. He's got double amp term up against Fiendish Codex right now, and I think that we're going to see Echo either roam bot here or solo kill mid.
And as we said, top lane, Camille's losing a lot of CS in this matchup. But actually, you know how you were talking about how you wanted to see that AD Udyr? We have a Dark Seal start.
Yep, bit of action going down in the bottom lane, but nothing really coming from it. Everyone kind of just sees each other and goes, hey, you know what? We can fight later on. Obviously better for Truth. They are behind, but remember, as you know, we say in all our casts, just because you're behind doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to lose the game. So at this point, right, they definitely outscale. They're down about 1,000 gold. That's quite a lot at 6 minutes. That is quite a lot, but it's definitely recoverable. And I think we'll see quite a bit of play still from Truth Gaming. They're definitely not out of this yet. Only 6 minutes in. But yep, so Dark Seal and now Lost.
He gets hit by the Q. The CS still up. It connects. That'll be the kill onto Xayah. Perhaps heals up. Not quite. Not actually able to get the Braum passive fully stacked, which means they aren't able to convert into a kill.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the Udyr right now. He has 81 AP, and there's about a... Let me do some quick maths. It's about a 60% conversion onto his R, and his W has about a 50% conversion. So AP not actually being that strong on the Udyr, but it looks like that's the route he's going. I think the idea is he's going to be relatively tanky while also doing quite a lot of AoE damage. So that's definitely going to be a team fight Udyr, not the split push attack speed Tiger stance that I would have thought he would go. So that means he's going to be looking at a team fight and group, which means again that 1-3-1 is so much stronger.
And perhaps we talked about the 1v1 just being absolutely crazy, except Fiddle being engaged on by Echo. He's getting the drain out. He's about half HP. Echo coming back, but he's not actually going to win this trade. As you said, the extended trade with Echo, really brutal for the side of Fiddle, except he flushes out of the way of the Time Grinder and gets the kill.
Outplayed there by the Fiddle. Echo had his flash. He could have flashed to extend the Q and make sure it hit. A couple mistakes there. Echo, of course, wasting his ultimate completely. He tried to obviously hit it onto the Fiddle, misses it, but not just that, but obviously Echo's ultimate can be used to dodge abilities to heal. He didn't do either of those, just wasting it completely, and then right at the end there, Fiddle flashing. Didn't even need to. I think the Q damage from Echo wouldn't have killed him. Oh, bit of a trade.
Yeah. He's got a good trade on there. He's got his Sheen already, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage with those precision protocols.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the Sheen decision. Generally in top lane at the moment, you want to rush a Tiamat on almost any champion. Even things like Darius, you're seeing Tiamat. Things like Aurelia, even Jax. Everyone's basically going Tiamat, and the main concept is it's quite cheap.
But Brand to hit by the Root Caller, but they have their jungler nearby. They definitely have both sums available on Xayah. They can really easily turn this around, but Flash are used really prematurely and early. They still got all their sums, but the Root Caller comes through 3 and hits them all, rooting them, dealing damage, taking them all out. Brand's almost down, and he'll be taken out by the Rakan, and him actually getting out before the towers can get that second shot off, and they all escape with their lives.
Yeah, a pretty solid play there in the bottom lane. It almost feels like Xayah Rakan does more damage, just having that Rakan there. Obviously, not really, unless I'm missing something. I believe the only interactions are... Actually, I don't even know the interactions. Do you know?
Rakan actually gets a attack speed buff.
Oh, really? Okay,
yes.
Let me just quickly check. So, okay, so the E range is increased.
Yeah, basically, Rakan gets extra... except Camille's going in, getting another trade on. He's actually got a really strong advantage here. He probably could have just R'd onto Udyr there and maybe gotten the kill under his tower, but instead Udyr able to get away. But he's coming back for another trade actually. He's got the W and he's got R. He can just use it here to get onto Udyr. Udyr's not going anywhere. Precision Protocol coming out again, but he might actually win it. He's forced to flash, but to even bottom, we've got even more action. And again, we see Braum just tanking a bunch of shots, but Talia flashing onto Udyr, and Udyr flashing in response.
Yep, so I have just educated myself a little bit on Xayah Rakan. Obviously, it's been out for a long time, but I actually thought it was just the recall and the knock-up in the extended range. The big thing is the W. Xayah's W, Rakan he gains the effects of it. So it means he throws out leaves, he gets the attack speed. So that's why the damage is so much increased with the Xayah E, is because Rakan is throwing out feathers, right?
Yeah, they actually nerfed it. They actually nerfed it because it was doing too much damage that you would just kill people level 1 because it was too much damage. That Rakan only gets the attack speed buff and gives move speed to both him and Xayah. He doesn't deal the damage.
Okay. So I guess that's not as strong, but that's still, like obviously everyone knows Xayah Rakan's a solid combo.
Except Camille doing a really greedy recall, but she hasn't got Precision Protocol, and the levels in the Phoenix stance, that's about 200 damage on the first auto attack, leading to the instant just burst of Udyr. But Talia's got a lot of damage on that Phoenix stance. It looks like he's just going to get the outplay here. He's just going to chase Talia down, finish her off. Except those buffs on Talia coming in huge. The change to rock surfing, changing it from 5 seconds to 2 seconds. She comes out of combat for just a second and gets that massive attack speed boost. But bottom lane, a really premature ultimate by Xayah, but it seemed like it's okay with the teleport coming in. But a lot of damage going down Xayah. She has no summons, no ultimate. Instead, she just dies. And in fact, Kayn is probably just going to ultimate here just to take out Rakan. And even though Echo's TP'd in, he's taking all this damage, and he's going to go straight into the waiting arms of Kayn, who will finish him off.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, this game just feels as if Ban, they're all better players, I would say. That's what it feels like. It feels like they have these cheese strats, they have these ideas where, even though Truth has so much of a better comp, a lot more standard lanes, they've been playing okay in the lanes in the 2v2. The teamwork and synergy from Ban, it feels like a group of friends have just picked up this tournament and said, hey, we can enter that, we can play some super cheesy shit, and we can have a lot of fun. And that's kind of what it feels like, personally watching them play. So this is the kind of chaos that would never exist in future events, because obviously, this might be Division 2, but these are the top, 16 amateur teams in OCE. So I feel like you can't get to this level, let's say 5 years down the track, you won't be at this level with this cheese, but I love the AP Udyr. It's doing a lot of work. I don't understand it still. Obviously, the scalings just don't seem that good to me. But
and that's the point, right? You look at it and you're like, oh, it's an AP Udyr. I don't really think that's too good. And then you look at Talia being blown for half her health in a single, 2 autos onto her. And so there's that kind of disrespect factor, right? Where you're just like, oh, that doesn't seem very good. And so you don't respect it as you would you see Darius and you're like, oh, I'm scared of Darius. I don't really want to fight that.
Bit of a fight happening here.
Yeah. He uses the ultimate pretty prematurely. And he's going to go in with the hookshot. He does actually clean it up. But even bot lane, there's action onto Xayah again. And the Shadow Assassin Kayn is enough to just melt through Xayah, but there's an ignite with for the return kill. And top lane, Braum trying to finish up the kill on either one of them, but they're too high, and they simply can't get the return onto either of them.
So, wait, hang on a minute. How did Braum get up there?
I think I actually don't know. I thought it was a TP, so but he doesn't have it.
Holding mid, because Kayn and Fiddle made a play ball. Brand went mid, and Braum literally just ran all the way from mid to be into that fight just to die. So we were talking just a moment ago, oh, this AP Udyr seems pretty good. But the one thing is, he's very squishy off cooldown, because of course, his damage is his R, which is an ability. His W is his only tankiness, which is an ability. Generally, when we have these ability-based guys like Vladimir or Swain, it's like, yes, they are AP and they do have abilities that make them tanky, like Swain's R and Vladimir W and Q, but at the same time, they're also innately tanky because of their stats, because of the items they build, whatever. Udyr's just rushed a Luden's Echo. So to give you some sort of idea, this is kind of like an Orianna build on an Udyr. So imagine Orianna, very standard to go something like Luden's Dark Seal, Ninja Tabby, right? Not the
and the tower goes down, and the Camille's trying to win this 1v1, but I'm pretty sure the AP Udyr just has way too much damage, and we're seeing it come through and just decimate Camille's health bar.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is in the same way that we said, you know, Camille would win the one here because Udyr's gone attack speed and he wins the extended fight, whatever, and Camille can just do short trades. It's actually flipped on its head, where now if you look at the two, who's got the more consistent sustained damage? You'd probably say Camille, actually, because Udyr is very much, he's going to walk up to you, burst, stun you, and then run away with W. That's his combo. Or at least that's what it looks like. I don't want to sound like an expert because, trust me, I am not an expert on AP Udyr. But there's a fight down here in the bottom.
And actually, they're going in onto Kayn. Kayn himself trying to go for that quick trade, gets away with the Shadow Step pretty easily. Rakan not able to come in with the Grand Entrance, meaning nothing happens, just a little bit of damage onto the red side jungler. But still, Rakan dodging, actually Fiddle coming in with the Crow Storm, getting those crucial silences and all that damage off. And even though Xayah has the flash, has the ultimate, she's going to have to use them if she wants to live. Ultimate comes out and flash as well.
Great little fight inside of the jungle there for Banon. The simple concept is, we got a Brand. Brand was actually only in that fight temporarily. He obviously got a really nice ultimate off, but he kind of was in there and then he just went straight to mid, because I feel like as soon as Fiddle popped his ult, the fight was kind of over. Everyone's just disengaging. So Brand said, hey, you know what? I'm going to run mid. I'm going to get some pressure. But actually, Echo...
Yeah, Echo goes in, isn't actually able to land the stun, gets a huge chunk from Brand, and meanwhile top lane, there's that extended fight with Udyr, and Camille's trying her best to win the 1v1, he needs help from Rakan. Rakan's gonna come in here, get the Grand Entrance off, and together with help from Rakan, it looks like they'll be able to finish off Udyr, but Udyr might just run away with the bear stance. Meanwhile, Xayah at bottom is trying to live, but he's just gonna attack, get blown up by Kayn. Same will be with Taliyah getting blown up by the Kayn with the electrocute proc, and they got pressure mid. Even though Udyr dies at the top lane, it costs 2 members and it costs way too much on the side of red.
Yeah, I mean, sending the Rakan and blowing the ultimate alongside the Camille and leaving the Xayah just by herself, like, you have such a strong team fight when you have things like the Echo, Xayah, Rakan, Taliyah. You can match them, right? Obviously, you know, Brand and Fiddle are scary, but leaving Xayah to just get walked up on and just one-shot by that blue Kayn that we talked about, that Shadow Assassin Kayn, absolutely ridiculous to see that sort of come out in a team game. So I think Rakan just needs to ignore the Udyr. Udyr is probably one of the main reasons Banon's ahead here, because let's just like realize what he's done. Obviously level 1, right, I believe he started his stun to secure that Camille. After that, you know, we saw he drew a lot of jungle pressure top from the Taliyah. Didn't really die. I think he died at one point, but it took them a few ganks to get him down. And yes, he's 1 and 2, but he's doing quite a lot of work in that sort of fight there. He draws Rakan, who's such a huge team fighter, so much utility. And even here, he's stopping Camille's base. Like, he is doing some serious work up here. The same issue, though, right? They do get outscaled, but now instead of that 1k gold lead, it's a bit cute, a bit like, hey guys, we better focus up now. 5k.
Yeah, and I think in terms of our analysis, there was something we missed. In terms of, we were like, oh yes, this is going to be very like cheesy, very like just all out, but there's a fight, not able to actually start. Taliyah just trying to get some poke damage. Udyr practically ignoring her, but getting punished for it with that. But Echo's going to take a lot of damage here himself. He doesn't use his ultimate pretty smartly, but he's going to have to use it here. He doesn't actually greeting onto it too long and gets punished.
And that's the issue with things like the Fiddle. He can literally stand still, get his passive, flash over a wall, W...
In fact, Taliyah gets engaged on. Rakan's trying to salvage his team fight, but Xayah can't get her feathers off through the Braum. She ults for no reason, and Kayn's going to try and finish her. Really greedy, but he gets the ultimate off, and it's going to be really hard to get the return kill. But meanwhile, mid, there's a Rift Herald, and Udyr is right next to it. The 2 remaining members of Truth Gaming just cannot come mid to try and respond, and they're just going to lose an inhibitor, and they're probably going to get this Rift Herald crashing into their Nexus towers.
Yeah, not looking good at all for Truth. I mean, really well played there by the Kayn. His damage at Echo started off, because that play was just 2 different sections. Echo gets caught out, sure, and we said he didn't use his ult, but to be fair to him, he got caught, he's dashed away, Fiddle, passive, you know, gets his passive by standing still, flash QE over the wall. Echo had no time to actually press his R in that combo. So, unfortunate there. Oh.
But now Talia again walking up straight up to the Udyr. She's gonna get chunked really hard, but Talia herself has got that damage to try and chunk onto Udyr and will use the ultimate to just try and close off any kind of chance at survival for Udyr. But meanwhile, they're on Baron.
Yep, so this Baron looks pretty free, right? Camille's top, she has teleport, right? So that's kind of odd that she's top, but whatever. So does Echo, but Xayah's bottom. It almost looks like they're giving it up, but now they're contesting it. This seems like very mixed calls from Truth. I think that they could have contested it if Xayah was with them, but for some reason she's not.
Yeah, and she hasn't got TP to come either.
Camille.
Looks like Camille's just going to make the desperation play, but Smite's already coming out, and Camille's just going to get stun locked here, not even able to get the ultimate off before she just gets bursted down.
Yeah, and it's awkward because you're looking at Talia. Oh, Talia, you have flash. Why didn't you flash? It was about 3 or 4 seconds off cooldown, so Talia couldn't flash in for the steal. Camille went for something. I don't know what she was going for, to be completely honest. I mean, you're up against a Kayn, right, who obviously has his QW auto attack execute with the smite. I don't feel like Camille had much of a hope there, but she goes for the desperation play. Ooh.
And in fact, he actually gets caught out, and the challenging smite isn't quite enough due to the shadow step healing, and it will be just the top tower falling to the Fiddle and Brand. It should be, and they will just back off after it. But if they want to, they can stick around for Talia. They've got the top tower. Looks like they're just going to back off.
And I think they should just back off. I mean, they have Baron, they've got 3 objectives.
Oh, Fiddle's staying. He's actually heading mid, it looks like. But meanwhile, Brand's getting just caught by Camille, and even though they got the bottom tower, it's at the cost of Brand's life.
Yeah,
it looks like they're going to try and run down Udyr here. He gets hit by the slow. This will be the death of him. Rakan even burns ulti, but Kayn runs straight into the ulti Rakan and gets instantly denied any kind of burst.
Looks like Fiddle just escorting some Baron minions in. Kayn dying for the Udyr. That's how much they prioritize. Okay, you know, you're playing pretty well. You deserve to live here. We're going to let you. So, interesting decision making there by the Kayn. I definitely say let the Udyr die. Udyr might not have even died anyway.
And Udyr is just BMing. And he's going to die for it.
Wait. That wasn't even like a strategy. Like I thought, wow, Udyr knows something that we don't, but obviously not. Just gonna
maybe it's just like, oh, maybe we have a chance, guys. Maybe it's just like a ultra BM, make them think they're back in the game somewhat. And Braum is doing the same thing. No team. He's just BMing.
I mean, this game has gone south very quickly. I mean, we started off, we had a bit of a weird draft, well, a ridiculous draft from On. We had a standard draft from Truth, and we thought, hey, you know what? It's going to be, you know, cheese versus meta. It's going to be early game versus scaling. It's going to be odd garbage versus very standard play. And how's it going to work? But
Pyroclasm comes out. Flash answered with Flash.
And it's just, I'll just continue the point because the fights are happening so frequently. Say anything if we keep restarting, but essentially, you know, it's turned into a complete fiesta. Whereas I'd have to say, you know, On has got exactly what they wanted. We thought it would be kind of a mix between a bit of cheese, a bit of strategy. It's all cheese.
Oh, but instead, Kayn just instantly caught out and destroyed. And there's the Talia jungle special. Electrocute does a lot of damage. Talia's just hit his 2-item power spike, and Squishy's beware. She can just one-shot you.
And it's weird because they've literally, it's so odd to us.
And Fiddle gets fear. He actually got the kill there, and he's gonna try and live through this, but there's 3 other members right there with him. He's gonna get the 1-for-1 that I was not expecting, but it's not gonna have too much of a lasting impact, with Udyr still just buying time, going for the inhib while they're forced to defend their Nexus and top towers. They're not even gonna be able to defend the top towers. Instead, Talia opting to try and defend bottom inhibitor, but Rakan going in, getting the engage with the quickness and the grand entrance. Echo forced to go back just for health, and they're trying to burn down Braum now, but they haven't got any damage. And meanwhile, Rakan goes back in just to get instantly killed. He's not does not have the health to survive that. And meanwhile, 2 inhibitors going down, and Udyr just going to turn onto Talia, do a lot of damage, but he's just going to run away. But he's going to get completely denied by the Camille ulti.
I don't get it. Like, I don't understand what is happening. but I've just been listening to you speak and watching the gameplay for about 30 seconds, 2 minutes. And I'm just, what is happening? Like, we've got a Braum in the side lane, we've got a Fiddle on the other side.
And Fiddle's going for another solo kill with Kane instantly shotting the side. And Fiddle's going back in, going for the Taliyah, popping the Zhonya's. Echo has no ulti, so he just gets one shot. Kane goes in with the flash, but he doesn't need to.
I'm trying to stay focused, but what the
well, this was a cheese comp. What do you think they're doing? Fiddlesticks is literally walking in a straight line at the 80 carries, getting his picks.
He walks straight up to her and feared her, and she's like, "Oh, I better run away now."
And meanwhile, they're going onto Brand, who stayed way too long in the start lane, with his entire team going back. But it looks like he's going for the 2v1. He's doing a lot of damage, but he's not going to get the return before he finally gets melted.
Jesus. Okay. Let's try and just relax. Looks like that's going to be the end of the chaos. There's no one anywhere near the team. We finally have a moment to think about what's happened. Now, 2 inhibs down. Inhib tower, of course, with the new changes, I believe. Let me just check. Yes, it is below 1,000 health, so that's only going to regen to 1,100, so definitely going to go down very quickly. That's going to be the next point of focus with 2 inhibs already down. So blue team.
Meanwhile, Udyr is just walking up to it. He doesn't care. And in fact, there's a Camille he's walking straight into, and he's just going to get ultimated and just taken out.
Okay, that's inting. Report. That's reportable. Like, he literally top.
Maybe you say it's inting, but look at the Nexus towers.
Oh
was it inting or was it strategic gameplay?
No, it's not strategic gameplay. If that's in my solo game.
And meanwhile, Camille, up in top lane, pushing waves, gets caught out by Kane. He's just going to get ulted. Rakan's just going to try and take it out Kane as soon as he gets out. And Camille, following up the CC, able to take out Kane before he dies. And meanwhile, Braum, by his lonesome, just throwing out a few abilities at Taliyah.
Like, Brand's not there. They're straight up inting. Like, Udyr dies 1v... Kane dies 1v2, and now Brand, the main carry of the team, even though he's not, let's be honest, he's not the main carry of the team, but, like, in theory, he's not even there. He's farming wolves.
And meanwhile, he gets a pick, the support trying to ward with the picks they've got, but Brand's still there to just quickly say no. And Braum, by himself, is going to get Taliyah ulted.
Wait.
But Fiddle is going to stop Taliyah and then just get bursted.
Wait. So he stops the Taliyah ulting the Brand, the support, that probably wouldn't have died anyway, because he could have just walked out. He's like full health or half health. And he's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to save my support Brand, and I'm going to just die. Like,
oh, the Brand gets caught, and the Hextech ultimatum comes out again, but the Brand's so strong, and he just obliterates the team with all of the passive stacks going off, and just completely getting an ace all by himself.
What?
And that's a quadra kill to ban AN.
Wait, give him the penta. Galaxy, give him the penta. Literally, this is the game that... Give him the penta.
Galaxy kind of detached you. I don't even think he can defend. Except he gets a good ultimate off. Though there goes the penta.
Wow, why would
as ban AN
run back to base and then die?
After like 10 minutes.
What's actually happened? Okay, so I don't even want to analyze the game, but let's try it. So draft completely threw everybody off. The Fiddle mid was actually